YouTube, how's it going? The GOAT House is back with some more 2019 NFL record predictions. This one is for the Carolina Panthers. I'm going team by team, and we did most of the teams here. Once I get through it, I'll predict the playoffs, the Super Bowl, and then have the other GOAT House members make their predictions as well. So a lot to get to. We're also covering the NBA draft. But at this point of the video, I like to break down my thoughts on the team and the Panthers. If you watch my drafts content, you know that I really liked the Panthers draft. I really liked it. They're heading in the right direction, but how much of an impact will those guys make right now? There might be a lot of starters out of that draft. And, before the draft, me breaking down the Panthers, you'll remember that I said they had a lot of holes, maybe the most holes in football. So that's not really a good thing, especially when you have a quarterback that's an MVP caliber quarterback. He's capable of winning the Super Bowl, but when he's not healthy, which I heard he's doing well, and when the pieces around him really aren't at its best, can he actually do those things? That's the question. Offensive line, they drafted well, but it really could struggle. I'm really looking forward to McCaffrey this year. I think me thinking about fantasy football, I'm thinking McCaffrey is a top option. I might be a little more high on him than the rest, but the offensive line could be rough. But receiver unit's very rough too. I like DJ Moore, but you need another number one. Jarius Wright's very sneaky on a third down, but that's about it for him. Curtis Samuel is just still trying to adjust to receiver. He's more of a running back at Ohio State before transitioning to receiver. So it's pretty tough, the receiver unit. I like the defensive tackles. Pass rushers, again, it's rough. Brian Burns is going to be excellent for the future. He could make an impact right away, but not a giant impact. Linebackers, pretty solid again. The secondary is where I think you can pass on this team. They got some young guys from last year going to step up. Jackson I like, but I think you can pass on this team. So I still think, even though they filled a lot of holes, I still think for this season, the young age of those guys, and there's holes elsewhere. So I still think it remains. There's some open spots, and it's a strange situation because you just have what could be an elite quarterback on any year, and then an elite running back possibly too. So and then maybe the best or second best middle linebacker in football as well. So it's tough. It's tough. They have some holes. It just really depends on game by game here, which we'll get to. But first, 20K is our subscriber goal. Much appreciate you if you like and subscribe. We have daily sports videos, specialized in the NFL. We have NBA draft coverage as well. And first upload of the day is always at 2 p.m. Eastern now. And then checking out our Twitter where we have polls. You guys vote on things for the NFL. And checking out our Instagram. Links in the description for both of those. All that much appreciated. On to the Panthers. Week 1 against the Rams. They're home. I've seen crazy things happen in week 1, but the Rams are the much better team, so I will pick the Rams right now. Thursday night, home against the Buccaneers. To me, the Panthers and the Buccaneers are very similar teams. It seems like they have the same strengths, same weaknesses, or same holes. The difference is the Panthers have Cam Newton and McCaffrey. The Buccaneers don't. Buccaneers have a guy like Mike Evans. Panthers don't. So that's really the difference. As long as Cam's healthy, when there's very similar teams in matchup, I'm taking the just a slightly better team there, and they got the better quarterback, so I'll take the Panthers. I'm just worried about Cam. If there's ever any doubt about his health, is there a risk of him getting hurt more? I would just sit him. I just play it safe at this point because there's still more you need to get, in my opinion, to be a playoff team. I mean, they could be a playoff team, but to go any further, I think you got to be 100% healthy, and there's some more you need to fill out. Some young guys need to develop a little more. Week 3 against the Cardinals. I mentioned the Cardinals are a team you don't want to play early in the year because it's hard to game plan against that college offense. So it's going to be different. The Panthers do have some young talent there, but I like the Cardinals at home. I think Kyler Murray's going to be a problem early in the year. I don't think the Cardinals win a whole lot of games once teams figure them out, but it's a team you don't want to play early in the year. In Houston, I like the Texans there. That could be a very close game. I think pretty even a matchup. I think the Texans got a little more, especially at home. Then we got the Jags. It's good that's at home there. I don't think there's a whole bunch of scoring in this one. I like the Panthers, though, in that one. And they play the Bucs in London, so very stupid that the Bucs don't even get a home game against a division rival. They get to play away, but they don't get to play home. It's very stupid of the NFL there. So since this is a neutral site, and like I said, the matchup is they're basically the same teams, but one has the much better quarterback. For that reason, I like the Panthers a 2-0 the Buccaneers, but Cam could be out. If he's out, the Panthers might not win any games. I shouldn't say that. Will Grier it might be good to get Will Grier some experience. Like I said, if Cam, there's any doubts, any risk, I'm sitting Cam this year. That's just me. I want him to be healthy. I do think he's an MVP caliber. I mean, he's already won the MVP. I think he can win it again if he's healthy and he has the right pieces around him. And then the bye week, then they got the Niners. I do like the Niners at home. Niners were pretty beat up last. Both two teams, Panthers, Niners, that could be beat up at this point. Still somewhat early in the season. I'll take the home team here. I like the Titans over them. The Titans' defense is pretty good. I think it can limit the Panthers' scoring opportunities here, and then they'll be able to put some points on the board as well. I don't like the matchup for the Panthers there. Then they're in Green Bay. I like the Packers there. You don't have to think too much about that one. Not that the Packers, you can beat the Packers, but in Lambeau, could be a shootout. This game could be a shootout, but I like the Packers in the shootout. Falcons at Panthers. I like the Panthers getting one here against Atlanta at home. In New Orleans, I like the Saints against the Redskins. I like this Redskins team. It depends on the quarterback, but either way, I mentioned Keenum or Haskins. They're not guys that are going to just completely take you out of the game. They can be game managers. They're not going to wow. So I think the rest of the team is very solid to me as long as the offensive line is healthy. So I think this team's very good. I shouldn't say very good. I think they're pretty good. I'll take the Redskins in this one away. At Atlanta, this time I think the Falcons get them. Don't see a sweep. Against Seattle, I'll take the Panthers. Ooh, that's tough. I was going to take the Panthers at home. Hate predicting teams to be beat up. Could they be beat up at this point? It's about the time where Russell Wilson turns it up. I'll take the Panthers, my original feeling, but that's one that I can change my mind on very easily. Because the Seahawks, on paper don't look too good, but somehow they didn't either last year. So somehow Russell Wilson, brings that offense, up to where it needs to be, and Bobby Wagner on defense. It just somehow happens. Somehow they get to the playoffs. Panthers and the Colts. I like the Colts, and I like the Saints 2-0 them. So 5-11. I know Panthers fans probably not happy with me. I love the draft. I like where they're heading. It's just about staying healthy, and there's still some holes. I think the secondary can struggle, and the offensive line can still struggle. I'm excited about Brian Burns for the future. There could be some struggles. I'm not ruling them out to get to the playoffs. If Cam Newton's 100% healthy all the way through, yeah, he can do it. We talk about the Seahawks, how they have holes on their team, how they look like they're going in the rebuild position, but somehow Russell Wilson gets them there. Cam Newton can do the same thing, but there is some doubts about his health. There is some doubts in what we saw at the end of last year. But I do. This team's very capable. Another draft, another free agency. This team's very capable of getting back to where they think they belong, back in the deep end of the playoffs, I should say. So, again, we're going back and looking what games they can really win week one, but I'd say no. They're better than the Cardinals. They're better than the Cardinals, but week 3 in Arizona, going against Kyler Murray, tough to game plan against. They could definitely win that game. I do have them 2-0ing the Buccaneers, but then getting 0-2'd by the Saints. They could beat the Titans there. They could beat the Redskins there. So really, if healthy, you start to see we add some more wins. We can get in that 9-win range possibly sneak in the playoffs. So it's tough. I still think there's some room to improve for the Panthers. But yeah, we did the Saints and we did the Panthers. We're going to do the Falcons and the Bucs next for this division. Then we'll go on to the AFC West and the NFC West. Then we're done with those, and we'll go on to my playoff predictions, Super Bowl predictions. And I'm going to try to very soon get the other Goat House members on board to get their predictions, so you get different perspectives. Not everybody agrees with me, obviously. Some people do. A lot of people probably don't. So then we have 3 other guys, the Goat House, give their predictions. So I think that's very cool that we get to see here at the Goat House multiple different predictions every single year and throughout the year. So daily sports videos. First video comes at 2 p.m. Eastern every single day. Plenty of videos on the channel already, so please check it out. Please subscribe if you haven't quite yet. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.